Also, God Knows Why, and Wagner up on the outside with Let's Get At It as they rise at the first. They are all over safely. Benyard the Grey just ahead of Generation Gap. Man for Bellamy making ground amongst horses, and the Ravens return as they make their way on towards what would usually be the second. But today the second is a plain fence as they bypassed the open ditch. So racing on then towards fence number 2. Crelion out in the lead in white and blue. Towards the inside, Let's Get At It with Premium Access. God Knows Why comes next on the inside of Wagner. And then Mr. Merchant, who's in midfield in the quarter colours. Back of the pack early on, just about Generation Gap last of all as they take what is now the solitary ditch per circuit. And Le Man for Bellamy had, I think, jumped it okay, but had a coming together there with Benyard and rather lost out. Jumped it a bit skew whiff and was knocked off balance on landing and drops to the back as they turn down the side. So early on, it's Crelion on the outside of Let's Get At It in the dark colours with the black cap as well. Premium Access from God Knows Why. Wagner taken wide to get a sight of the fences. Head of the Ravens return, Mr. Merchant and Generation Gap. The Man for Bellamy as they reach the cross fence is last of all. And just intending to shift out to the left, the Man for Bellamy, and is going to receive a reminder. Just in danger of getting dropped by about 3 or 4 lengths as they make their way up the home straight. Out in the lead, Crelion's been joined on the inner by Let's Get At It, and these two climb uphill towards fence number 5. They show the way from towards the outside, Premium Access and God Knows Why, the two in yellow. Premium Access with the braces. All over that, Generation Gap brushed through the top. The Man for Bellamy still just encouraged along at the rear. Meanwhile, the field well grouped head up towards the middle one up the home straight. Crelion with Let's Get At It and Premium Access. The Ravens return on the inside of Mr. Merchant, who jumped up really well there, Mr. Merchant, as the Ravens return made a mistake towards the inside. But they're still tightly bunched with Generation Gap, Benyard, Wagner and Le Man for Bellamy still in touch with the others as they take the next fence, as they all have negotiated that safely. So the order with a circuit to go.
Been jumping around
in the lead,
for
white
ages.
colours with the black sleeves. Let's Get At It on the inside in the throughout all black colours with Premium Access, and Mr. Merchant who jumped himself right into the firing line at that previous fence as they turn away in the orange and black is disputing third. Generation Gap on the outside of the Ravens return. Wagner comes next. The Man for Bellamy and Benyard are still towards the back of the field as the leaders still well bunched head towards the water jump. Lion with Premium Access rising in second place on that occasion. Benyard was the last to rise. They are all still standing as they turn into the back straight. The Ravens return just had to work slightly to hold the position. It was in danger of being short of room, but is fine now on the inside as they make their way towards what is 7 from the finish. Crelion, Premium Access, and Let's Get At It, who was in tight. The Ravens return following also made a mistake. Just behind the leaders, Mr. Merchant. And towards the outside, God Knows Why, the Ravens return, making ground again on the inside. Le Man for Bellamy on terms with Wagner. Benyard is still the back marker. So this longer than usual run as they bypass that fence before they leave the ground again. Crelion still with the advantage. Premium Access up on the outside, widest of all.
And then we got
God Knows Why. Mr. Merchant in the orange and black colours as they stepped over that. On the inside, pushed along is Let's Get At It. Trying to make some ground, Le Man for Bellamy in the yellow and green colours towards the outside. Then comes the Ravens return as they take the last over on the far side. Dropping to the rear is Generation Gap. Wagner and Benyard also have a little bit of work to do. So they turn down the side of the racecourse once they've swung right-handed. Crelion has the lead from Premium Access, and in third place, Mr. Merchant. God Knows Why comes next. The Ravens return and Le Man for Bellamy. Wagner is picking up amongst horses in 7th place. White with the blue cross belts. And they're all still very tightly grouped here as they make their way towards 4 from the finish. Crelion, Premium Access, the Ravens return didn't see a good stride, lost ground as a result. Weakening out of it, Let's Get At It is now last of all. So on the home bend, still with a lot of chances here. 3 to take. Crelion pressed on the outside by Premium Access and on the inside by Mr. Merkin. Then on the extreme left, Generation Gap is trying to stay on from the back of the field. Then behind these, the Ravens return. The Man for Bellamy has weakened out of it and is about to be pulled up. 3 from the finish, and Mr. Merchant has jumped to the lead past Premium Access Maxis as Crelion has given way. Third now goes to God knows why as they run down towards the second last. Mr. Merchant out in the lead. In pursuit is Premium Access, and there's going to be just over a length between them at the second last. They both jumped it really well. Back in third, God knows why is now beaten off, and it looks a straight fight here between Mr. Merchant in the orange and black, who still has the lead from Premium Access, who's thrown at the last, but the difference between them is 2 lengths as they set up the run in. Premium Access is sticking to the task. Mr. Merchant still, however, has this 2-length lead and is holding it on the run to the line. Mr. Merchant, Niall Houlihan wins for Richard Rowe, the Battle Anthem Partnership. Premium Access in second. In third, God knows why. Benyard made late ground for fourth, and then come the rest.
That was a bit naughty with a late trade after my time had gone out, but I could see that the market wasn't really picking up yet, and I still had a bit of time to do it. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know your opportunities, I certainly wouldn't do it on every race. I wouldn't recommend doing it. It's best to stick to your rules at all times. I was a bit greedy there for an extra £1 or whatever it was. So. Anyway, next race.